it's the love of celebrity, right? He calls out, for instance, various pundits in 2007, 2008, kind of hinting at the idea that, hey, what if Obama gets assassinated? But he totally does not mention the fact that Clinton literally made the same exact comments in reference to RFK, right? She was like, well, we know what happened there, right? So that's why I'm still going to be in the race. But he also just doesn't say anything about her role in Libya. His instinct was, let's not do a Libya intervention. Biden's instinct was, let's not do a Libya intervention. For whatever reason, he deferred to Clinton's judgment. Well, it's interesting because he takes the blame for it, but at the same time, can you really call blame? Because it's not as if Democrats or anybody's even talking about the event, right? To the extent that Libya ever gets mentioned, it's like some, Benghazi stuff or like other nonsense, right? They're not talking about the actual issue.
It was just 2 lines in the book
Yeah.
in 700
Right.
pages. It was 2 sentences. Libya. He looks after Clinton because the same reason that the Clintons went to Trump's wedding. That's elites. There's the politics, which is sort of like the artifice. And then we're all in the same club. We all go to Martha's Vineyard. We go to each other's weddings. We all hang out together. And then there is the politics, the theater, the shadow boxing. So at the bottom, he wants to believe, and to some extent, he wants to believe he's part of that elite club. Gates, the Bezos, the Martha's Vineyard. It's no accident that Obama chose his houses. One house is next door to Jeff Bezos in Washington. And the other house, he has 3 homes, but the second home is in Martha's Vineyard. And same thing with Valerie Jarrett, his protector. In her memoir, Jarrett was she's ostensibly Black, though she's whiter than my shirt I'm wearing right now. In her memoir, she says at least 6 times how much she just loves to vacation at Martha's Vineyard. They all want to be part of that club, that very exclusive club. And Obama recognizes Hillary's in that club, Bill's in that club. So you don't alienate them. You don't make that mistake. Trump was in that club. That's why they all showed up for his wedding. But for various reasons, he has been excluded, and his lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, have been excluded from that club. Exactly why? It's an interesting political, sociological question. Basically because Trump has made a reputation of being, it's completely bizarrely ironic, as being a non-insider, of being an outsider. And that's why he gets all of this support. Because for the insiders, everybody in Trump's camp fits into the basket of the deplorables, the people who are outside the bounds of respectability. And consequently, Trump, in order to play on that of being outsider, had to join the basket of deplorables, even though he's obviously not. It's not a new Trump. Look, I remember the Trump who, in New York, when there was the Central Park jogger case, I don't know if you know much about that.
Mm-hmm.
The African Americans who were accused of beating and raping a jogger who was from an Upper East Side investment house. And they were accused of what was called, the term the media coined was wilding, because when that incident happened, Donald Trump took out full-page ads, full page, in the four major New York newspapers, the Times, the Post, the Daily News, and I think the Telegram, if my memory is right. He took out full-page ads in which he said, I reserve he called for the death penalty of these animals, okay? And even at that time, it was a quite outrageous thing to do. That didn't deter people like the Clintons from attending his wedding. That was, yeah, but Trump is one of us. One of us.
Yeah, I remember like when the whole like Stormy Daniels thing came out in 2017, 2018. One of the things that annoyed me the most about it was, well, first of all, if you ask like a random person off the street, they might have this kind of misapprehension that she was accusing him of raping her or it was some kind of sexual assault. But in her own phrasing, she was like, "Oh yeah, this was like what was it, like 2006, and we met up in this golf tournament, and he started flirting with me, and I kind of thought like, okay, I'm kind of interested. This seems kind of hot, and we went to his hotel room and we had consensual sex." And the fact that she became this kind of like, celebrity figure after the fact, and it's like, think about it. You found this guy hot. Like you knew that he was a total, not only just physically, like if you saw photos of him during that tournament, he just looks absolutely atrocious. But beyond just the physical repugnance, of him, you thought with his like lifelong, with the Central Park Five and everything else, and all the discrimination suits, everything, and always settling out of court, out of court, out of court, because he's always losing, because he's always guilty of what he's accused of. You thought he was hot and you had sex with him based on this fact because you want to get something out of him. And now you're supposed to be some sort of Me Too hero. It's just stupid, right? But it's true. Like everybody's just in this, it's a celebrity, a treadmill, right? And that kind of answers essentially that question that I have about Obama. Why don't you actually say something worthwhile now when you don't have a gag in you? And the answer is, well, he does have a gag. It's not a political gag, but the gag is one of celebrity, right? That's the gag.
Well, the gag is twofold. He wants to believe, and to a large extent he is at this point. He's an insider. So you don't bite the hand that feeds you. And secondly, because he has no strong beliefs on the subject. He has no strong convictions about anything at all. And that was the funniest thing, and I guess we'll end it at that. Garrow's tome on Obama, and the very last page, you wade through this mammoth tome. I'll just hold it sideways. The very last page, and he writes in that last page, while Obama, Obama's self-creation had produced an ironclad will. However, the vessel was hollow at its core. I have to tell you, it was the most extraordinary statement I had ever read in a book of this size. Usually they say of biographers that in order to successfully write a biography, you have to at some level love the character. There has to be some feeling for the character. And here Garrow spent 10 years researching the book, and he not only doesn't love the character, he doesn't even hate the character. He doesn't loathe the character. I've read many biographies of Hitler, and it's very hard for the biographer to both write the biography and hate the person. It seems to just doesn't work from a literary point of view. But this was something even more astonishing. He spent 10 years on every possible detail of Obama's life, however tangential, however far removed. And what does he conclude? The vessel was hollow at its core. There was nothing there. I called it my book, quoting that statement, I said it's the Guinness Book of World Records for wild goose chases. He spent 10 years tracking down every possible lead on Obama, only to discover there's nothing there.